Eric go first with this ridiculous headline.
Story. This is a warning to everybody. If you think, oh, my relationship is great because we're having the best relations ever. Mm-hmm. It is so great. We're doing it all the time. Well, that doesn't always mean you're in a good marriage. They could be cheating on you because I saw this stat today. People are happier in marriages after having affairs. 1,400 people that admitted that cheating.
14 what now?
1,400 people in this poll.
Okay.
Said 72 out of 1,400, 72% said their relationship with their hubby or wife had improved
Dramatically
since they started an affair.
Is this where I throw a book at you like I did to that guy that came in studio and said he was cheating on his wife, but his wife didn't know? And that's why it's so great.
I don't want to give this website credit.
It's one of those cheating websites. Of course, then they skewed the research.
Well, if it's 1,400 people who have admitted to cheating,
they're going to be honest if they're
the core survey, the sample survey was of cheaters, of people who have cheated in their relationship.
And over half of them, 52%, said that their sex lives with their spouse had seen an uptick from once, twice to 6 times per month, and they're still doing it with the person they're cheating with.
Oh,
but you know why they're saying this? They're saying, it made my marriage stronger. They're saying it because they're justifying their bad behavior.
Yeah.
They're saying their marriage. Why would how is your marriage strong?
Bullcrap alert.
How can your marriage be strong if you're sleeping with someone else?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
But just be careful out there, though, if people think my relationship is great because we're doing it all the time. Well, maybe they're doing it with someone else, too.
So is there some kind of connection?
Look at Eric trying to break up everybody in the holidays.
You're trying to say basically if all of a sudden you start having more frequency in volume of your relations, that means they might be cheating?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that these people, they're doing it 6 times with the mistress or mister or whatever. And they're also doing it 6 times with you. That person's got a problem.
12 times a month?
Yeah.
Or they're saying 6 total with 2 different people.
Is that a month or a week?
They're just saying
a month.
6 times a month.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you got to try and if you're cheating, you can't do it every day. Well, I guess you could, but that's a lot of work, I bet.
I don't know. They find the time. Don't they have jobs?
Little blue pills.
All right, let's go. In other unrelated news to cheating, this is it is relationship related. This headline says, why you should stay single, all in caps, in your 20s, according to science. According to science.
I want my daughter to listen to this segment right now.
Yeah, send it to her. Call her up right now. Tell her.
It says researchers found that people who couple up as soon as they move out of their parents' home are less equipped to cope with heartbreak later in life than those who stayed single for some time in a young adulthood. It could be because when you're single, you develop more life skills. They say you develop more networks, more resources to help you deal with the pain and disruption of a relationship ending. They also say being single in your 20s can foster more flexible expectation about relationships, whether as committed people, when they're young, they're like, it's going to last forever. It's going to last forever. And if it doesn't, they're just... Oh, no, I don't know how to deal with the breakup.
You just don't get married in your 20s. I think you should be able to date.
You can be in a relationship.
So what Eric is saying, maybe just remain unmarried, not necessarily single.
Because people change. If you've been dating since you're like 17, 18, I mean, you should change, right?
You're not going to be the same person at 25.
You better be changing, right? If you haven't, then you haven't really learned in life.
If you've peaked at 17, that's a problem.
Yeah, and then every time we talk about that, how that's like our mantra, our universal agreement mantra, like, don't get married before like... at least 28, but a lot of times we said 30 is the threshold. Then I'll meet like 10 people who are like, well, we met when we were 19.
I mean, there's always
20 years.
Right.
There's always the exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm. Or you meet a lot of them and they're on their second marriage in their 30s. It's like their starter marriage.
Oh, yeah.
In the 20s.
The starter marriage?
Yeah.
You only said that because you had that.
But I know a lot of people that do it, though.
Right?
It's amazing how many people, right?
But they're
how many
not
people have you
calling
met?
it the starter marriage when they're in it.
None of my friends.
But you don't think you're ever...
No.
If you go in thinking this is my starter marriage, then you're in trouble.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
But I would say...
Hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, I don't think any of my friends are married to the person they first married.
Is that like a thing, like a phase of life? I don't have really anybody that's... I don't have like a lot of people that I knew growing up that are all divorced now.
Well, you are in a very small, tight circle, very closed community.
Well, I don't think so. I feel like I have friends from all walks of life.
As long as they're Greek.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's
not just Greek.
Thank you, Kevin.
You ain't Greek, we ain't friends.
If you look at all Roula's friends,
Think about it. I have my college friends. I have my high school friends. I have my Greek friends. I have my Philly friends. I have radio friends. And then there's you guys.
But your friends are pretty, I bet your friends are probably secretive. They're not going to tell you if they're in a bad marriage.
Yeah. Nobody knows what happens behind closed
That
doors.
marriage versus divorce, that's a public
A lot
thing.
of people stay married for their kids.
Yeah.
Which is always the worst.
Right.
Yeah, it
and then
doesn't
they
matter
go
what
off
your
to
background
college
is,
and
that
they
happens anyway.
get divorced.
Yeah, then that really screws a kid up.
I don't know anybody my age that has gotten married and divorced yet. Like
Yeah.
out of like
'Cause you're,
my
what,
friend
30?
circle.
Yeah, just give us some
but
time,
it still
Sam.
could happen.
Right, it could happen.
Wait,
And
2
here's
more
the
years.
thing: why
Two
isn't
more
this a
years?
A
statistic?
few of your friends, not you.
You know,
Oh, yeah, no, not us.
Why isn't this a statistic? You know when we say in the turkey drop happens the Wednesday of Thanksgiving when the college kids come back from their high school relationships and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to drop you now because it's their first year of college." Why isn't the statistic that every May is the highest divorce filing month?
Kids go off
Because
to college.
kids finish high school, or let's say June, July, August. Why isn't that a stat where it's like all these parents are getting divorced because their kids are
Well, that
going
would
off to
be
college?
September then.
Probably, yeah.
Or whatever
because
that month is, where they felt comfortable,
August.
like they got the kid out of
late
the
August,
nest.
August.
And it
late
takes 3
August,
months to
they,
get
they
divorced.
pack them up and send them to their dorm, and then they
For
file
filing,
in September.
for filing,
So
not
it's-
actually.
It's like right now they should
divorcing.
be finalizing their divorce.
Yeah, so why isn't this a stat? We don't have a stat, like
you
a
would
generic
finalize
stat.
it now?
Well, sometimes
I
it
don't
takes
know.
like 3 months,
Christmas?
right?
But not everyone knows that timeline. If you're inexperienced with divorce,
Yeah.
then most of us we wouldn't know that's how long it takes.
But the
I
point
had no
Kevin
idea.
I'm making is, if Eric's point is true, like you're waiting for the kids to finish school, and
Mm-hmm.
the last one graduates high school in May, then why isn't something universal that we know, like in our culture, is like, oh yeah, July is the divorce
Also, you
month.
get to that point, though.
Filing
So
month.
you've
I'm
got
gonna Google
kids
it.
that are going off to college. Chances are, you're going to have a more complicated divorce at that point in your life. You've got more assets, more money. My divorce took a year. It took over a year to go down.
I was at a graduation last May and I noticed something. I'm like, oh, the mom's in front of me here and they have the whole row and the dad's over there. I'm like, something seems weird there. Then I found out, oh yeah, they're getting a divorce.
Oh, a quick Google search. January is really the divorce month. January is. Yep.
Does it feel like taxes and stuff too?
I don't know.
Married?
It says divorce
It's a new
attorneys
fiscal
often
quarter.
note an increase in calls. New cases when the calendar turns over.
maybe because they failed at Christmas and
That's it. That's
what you gave me?
No, this is
and
actually
that's another
divorce.
stat we get. We get the day after Mother's Day is always one where the women are just like, I'm done with this.
That's when they're cheating.
Oh, that's the cheating one.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Which we found out.
Not the divorce
And
one.
they're happy.
But from the point where you filed to the point where you're actually divorced, that's not like overnight. That takes a while. That's months at the very least.
For sure, months, no matter what.
No matter what. in the
I
state
had
of
nothing.
Texas.
Ryan had a lot.
I
Well, he had a lot. He lost a lot. I didn't lose anything.
Had is
I
the
had
opposite
nothing.
Oh,
word.
yikes.
I left with a garbage bag full of my clothes. That was it.
That's the difference between a divorce in your 20s.
What, you couldn't even take a
divorce in your
suitcase?
30s.
Why'd you put it in a
I didn't
garbage
even
bag?
get the
Were you just lazy?
suitcases. I was lazy, but
What is that? Your wife was so militant. She goes, you can't have that suitcase, please. I do not buy it for a second. You put your
I moved
stuff in
into
a garbage bag.
I did because I moved into an apartment complex like 2 blocks
And they don't
away.
allow suitcases?
Yep.
I
Parking
just,
lots can have
I just
rollerboards.
loaded up the car with my clothes because I wanted to be close to my daughter.
And that like
like
that
a
little
hobo?
knapsack, a hobo
Jump on
in
a
the
train.
cartoons. The little stick in the bandana with some treats in it. Then it was like violin music. Ryan's walking down
Nobody knows
on
my
290.
What would be in that?
On the
What
feeder
would be in
road?
that little thing? What would he keep? His vape pens?
My vape.
What else?
a bottle of water that's kind
It
of
is
smashed
art.
up.
It is art brushes.
Snakeskin boots?
Yes, a pair of boots, some art brushes, and some vapes. That was in his little bandana
Also,
stick.
an extra hair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, will you stop that?
No, she got that.
God.
Oh, she took the extra hair piece
I do not wear a damn hairpiece.
Put it on a pillow. Just
as a reminder.
So she looks over.
Now that we've had our fun.
What a
wanted to
good
get
part
this-
about him.
Man.
I wanted to get this one stat in here real quick about the beer because everybody on the show loves beer.
I like beer.
So they say don't let that cold beer, warm beer myth fool you. You can actually have your beer go warm and then re-chill it. It does not skunk the beer. So that was the big myth that it skunks your beer.
Here's the question:
After
Can
how
you
many
have it go
times?
warm in the car, in like a Houston car, and then re-refrigerate it again? I would think that would skunk it.
No, they say that skunking beer has nothing to do with the heat. It has to do with the light, the exposure of beer to light, and nothing to do with storage temperature. So that's a myth.
Because beer bottles, if they're darker, they last
That's what
longer.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do cans have the
cans
same
shouldn't.
effect as bottles? Shouldn't.
Yes,
Because
can.
sunlight or the light
But
can't go
think
through
about
the can.
clear Corona, and that tastes like garbage, and it
It does not. You stop that. I
So that's
like
a clear
my
bottle.
Corona.
I think the theory is leaning true.
So you will never hear Special K say, "Hi, it's Special K for Corona."
You lost that endorsement,
I'll take that
Kev.
account.
Hey, I'll take
Darn.
Modelo or Dos Equis.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well,
I don't know. I had a Modelo the
Pepsi-
other day.
PBR is
It
not
was
good.
too heavy for me.
I agree with you. There.
Pepsi.
PBR.
That was my granddad's beer.
Have
He
you ever
drank
had
that.
Pabst Blue Ribbon?
I don't think I have.
Pabst
You're
Blue
not missing
Ribbon.
out.
For the drunk show, we have to bring some
For me to try
gotta
it.
do a blind
some white trash
Ew.
beers that I grew up on.
Yeah.
The Bees,
Schaefer.
Milwaukee's Bees.
MGD.
Do they still have Schaefer beer up in Pennsylvania?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have
that
not
was the
Oh, no,
one.
Sam's all bougie. She don't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Drinks
they
all
brought,
that
I'm
fancy.
a beer snob.
they finally brought Yingling down to Houston.
They did.
And my sister brought some over
It's
for
okay. They
Thanksgiving.
have a Hershey's chocolate Yingling, which
I'm
is
not excited
very
about
good.
that.
It's
Is it?
delicious. Yes, because it's like
Really?
a stout. It's very, very yummy.
that
It's a
sounds
dessert
good.
beer.
Is that like a meal? Is that like a
dessert beer?
protein shake?
Dessert
you just
beer.
drink that one beer and you're good the rest of the
no,
night?
I don't. Well, if
No,
you're a professional
stout.
drinker like my husband
It's
and
like
I,
thick.
you can drink at least 2 of them. And
If you
still
have
go.
that chocolate coffee stout, it's so good, but one will do you.
If I want
It's
chocolate
so- it's
coffee,
too much
I'll have
flavor.
a
So
coffee.
filling.
I don't want it in my
You and
beer.
your husband get romantic, like drinking that keg of beer.
Yeah.
You drink all day.
Heck yeah,
With
we
all that
can.
beer, I feel like you'd
Should
be
have
a-
seen us last night, Eric.
man.
And that's why there's going to be baby number 2.
Eric, did
in
you
9
see
months.
my Instagram story? Mark had the backwards hat on.
Oh, yeah.
And all
You weren't
these
happy with
people
that.
kept DMing me, and they're like, "Oh, here comes baby number 2."
Oh,
I was like,
oh, yeah, you like that. You like
I
the hat
do like
backwards.
that. Yes,
Okay,
backwards
well,
hat,
let's mark
gentlemen.
the time.
Yep. And what is
November
today?
11. September
Count the
babies.
days, the months.
Yep.
And thank you to the texters on all topics today. From the time I talked about the Black Friday blanket to skincare for 11-year-olds to memes of Ryan walking away with a stick and a bandana. You guys are bringing it at 37530 today, and I'm loving it all. I'm loving it all. All right, coming up next, we wanted to give you an update on what happened with the people who called our show before Thanksgiving to tell us what the big bombshell news drop was going to be at their family table. It was Todd and Jessica, and we're
Yeah.
going to recap what happened.
Now, y'all ready?
This is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRVE.
It is brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston. Okay, so years ago we talked about this where Tom Brady posted a picture of himself at the NFL Combine where they basically parade around all these athletes to see if they're made for the NFL. And he posted a picture of himself back then thinking he had worked so hard to look so good. And his comparison picture of what he looks now is like, how did I even make it?
Yes.
Because he looked kind of lumpy in that first time at the Combine.
He wasn't even
compared
lumpy.
to
He's
what he is
Lumpy
now.
just had like a regular physique without all the muscles.
Well, I'm saying compared to what he is now, he was pointing out how did I make it? Because I was pretty lumpy, thinking I had done such a good job getting fit for the Combine.
Like his before picture, I'd be thrilled to look that way.
Right, but Tom Brady,
Plus, he has the money
43
to
or
go
44.
through. Like LeBron James is famous for saying he spends $1 million a year on his
Working
body.
working out.
Working out to the systems to make his body.
Yeah, so the average
So-
Joe cannot afford to do that.
It was
obviously.
reminiscent to me, the picture of Tom Brady, when I read about Paul Rudd on this podcast. The podcast is called Off Menu. It is where you go through a meal with these two hosts, and that's why food is the topic, right? You have a starter, you have a main dish, you have a dessert, and you're having a conversation with a guest. And the guest was Paul Rudd. So in this Off Menu podcast, he talks about the diet he had to do to be Ant-Man. And if you are an Avenger fan, well, you know that they all come together. And this is kind of funny because for anybody who's ever played any kind of an action hero, you have to alter your diet severely
But the thing
because you're an
is,
action hero.
Ant-Man didn't really ever take his shirt off. He could have gotten away with it. He's wearing a metal
He
suit the whole
still
time.
had to do whatever I guess
like Chris
the studio
Pratt.
expected.
He made sure that, like, okay,
Yeah, if
I
I'm
do all
working
this work.
hard.
You better get a few shots of me with my shirt off.
Yeah.
Doing some scenes.
Can't be lumpy from Parks and Rec and get that gig. So he became
Like Thor, he had a beer belly.
Well, they made it. That was a prosthetic beer belly.
I know it was cute.
Didn't even look real.
This is funny, though, to see him.
Right.
So here's what he says, which I think is really funny. He says that the diet that he had for Ant-Man was so restrictive that sparkling water was considered the reward. He said that's how horrible the diet was. I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have some sparkling water now. I've earned it. He did not give specifics of what exactly he had to eat. He just said it was the same boring food over and over again because it gave him more energy, and he drank non-flavored sparkling water
Which is
as the
weird,
reward.
because
Not
It's
even
called
flavor.
club soda.
He doesn't
Yeah,
look
yeah.
any different in that than he does most of his movies.
He joked that he worked out harder and ate better than any other Avenger, but he looked the worst out of all of them. He said, I had to work out all the time, eat perfectly just to look kind of bad. Not even like great. And he said then he had to stand next to Chris Hemsworth on Endgame, and he think to himself, well, what the hell's the point of any of this? Why am I killing myself when that can exist? And then look at myself and this exists. I can never achieve that.
The guy's
so
like
he went through this
55
crazy
years old.
diet, and it was all for
He looks
Nothing.
great. He
A
looks
roll.
great. Most people his age do not look like that.
Well, Paul Rudds is in that club with Rob Lowe and John
Doesn't age.
Stamos and Patrick Dempsey. They drank some serum that never
Yep.
ages them, and they're just going to be how they're going to be.
Like Role Models is on Netflix right now, and just for giggles, I've seen it a million times. I watched it the other day, and I'm like, he looks exactly the same.
amazing.
He has not changed at all.
Hey, for people out there that like wrestling,
Yeah.
this weekend WWE had their big Survivor Series, and they had a big surprise at the end. This wrestler named CM Punk.
Okay.
He showed up, and within 12 hours after that, over almost 30 million people watched it on WWE Network.
Why was it like some big surprise comeback or something?
Because there's a rumor because he was in a different, like he left 10 years ago. He's like,
Did he record music?
nope.
No?
I mean, Cult of Personality is his theme song.
Yeah.
Living Color from back in the, is that the,
Is that why I was looking on streaming numbers and Cult of Personality was like number 5 on the charts?
yes, that's how,
I'm like, holy
but-
crap.
Powerful he is.
But
That
just to
song
watch
is-
for
What's his
fun.
name again?
CM Punk.
CM
Just
Punk.
Okay.
go on TikTok today,
Yeah.
hit search, type in CM Punk reaction,
Uh-huh.
and you'll see all these dorks. Like people,
oh my God.
Because even I was, because they did it to the very end. They like ended the match. You thought he'd show up. They put the logo up. All right, it's a good night from Chicago, and all of a sudden, da-dun, da-dun, and they kick the music in from
Yeah,
within.
yeah.
And then he comes out, and it's the whole. I mean, the crowd goes nuts because he's from Chicago.
Okay, so 10
So-
years ago, he left the wrestling world.
Yeah, exactly. It's so nerdy.
man.
Watch these videos. You'll cry. Sam, you're gonna die laughing at these dorks.
Nerds.
Reaction
Their money
videos.
is
But I was
just
the
as
same
good
way.
as anybody else's.
I was like freaking out because I thought he'd show up.
Well, reaction videos to me are pretty funny, but here's my thing. Who on average, like if I'm going to sit down in my house,
Yeah.
I'm not even sit down, I'm just in my house with the TV on.
Right.
Like who on average has the camera on
Ready
their
to go.
TV just to watch them watch TV?
Right. Is it real reaction or are they reshooting it?
You know, a lot of them are like
they-
gamers, like they're on Twitch and
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
So there's like
They already are recording.
there's 3 people there, and
Because there was some
so
reaction
basically
video, Eric, like
you
weeks
watch
ago.
them watch wrestling, and then they're talking about
Yeah.
it and stuff. It'd be like if we did one for Grammys or something. We all got together in our house.
Sure.
You see it, and we're talking about it. And
Okay,
stuff.
but what about the ones like the Cowboys? I think a couple weeks ago, I don't know which game it was. They had some big play, and this guy's reaction video went viral because his wife had set up. I guess his wife had set the camera up, or does he just like to record himself? Because he was like, "Yes, yes." He
Yeah,
was,
some people-
doing some crazy dance about this big thing the Cowboys did, and I'm like, now tell me the background of this camera being on. Like they just record him every Sunday watching Cowboys, or was it just?
I think that now we're conditioned in sports to get your camera out and start recording.
But this was his whole. It was
Yeah. I
saw one in
mounted
Philadelphia when they
somewhere, and it
lost.
was his whole living room.
There's
But
a
the guy
lot of
doing the
people that
dance.
have like Ring cameras inside
Yeah.
their house, so he probably already had that.
There's a guy at Thanksgiving.
the
You see that one
audio.
going around? The guy
No.
went out. He left the house. He went and farted. And he goes, oh, I hope they don't have a ring. Oh, crap. He saw the ring there?
Oh my gosh.
It's so embarrassing.
Because the guy goes, oh, no, I hope they don't have a ring. He goes, oh, no.
Does the ring have audio?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the guy's stepping outside. Oh, no.
Because he goes, oh, I hope they don't have. Oh, man, they do.
Well, now, like you said, we have cameras that you can
Everywhere.
put in your house
Yep.
where you can talk, you can hear the audio, not just see the video.
Yes.
And I'm also
You can
saying
hear
I'm
what
one of the
they're
dorks,
saying.
too, that liked watching my reaction. I wasn't recording myself.
You're like, yes.
But just for fun, just look up CM Punk reaction. I mean,
CM Punk.
it's probably got like 45
So is he
million.
back now in the wrestling world? That was just like a one-off.
There's like, I'll get nerdy for 20 seconds. There's one called AEW and
Okay.
WWE.
Sure.
He used to be in WWE. He left like really bad, on bad terms. Like it was a real deal.
Oh.
He went to AEW like a year or two ago, and he got in a fight with the owner, Tony Khan, which owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. Screw them.
Oh, God.
He was here yesterday, and he got in a fight, so he got fired 2 months ago, and now he came to WWE.
Oh.
So the guy's kind of a head case, but he's awesome. People love him.
CM Punk.
I'll give you. Look, everybody's got their own thing. You know,
My thing is, I like wrestling. People, to me, I get bored with the wrestling part where they do these awesome moves. I think it's good.
you like the storyline.
I like the storylines, and I like to see surprises and stuff.
CM
So,
Punk.
I mean, I'm just the same way with Kiss, and then I'm freaking out.
Aren't you going next week?
This Saturday is the final. The band is 50,
Ryan has given
50
them
years
his
old.
ultimatum. You guys better not tour again. I'm going to
Is
kill
it?
you.
Listen
yeah,
to this.
How many finals have they had?
Over the holidays, I was biting my fingernails because the lead singer got sick, and he had like a bad flu, and they've canceled the last 3 concerts, and those concerts aren't being made up because they've sold the final concert as the final show, and it's got a pay-per-view special
Did you see
attached
those people
to it.
from Canada They were going to the Kiss concert. And they lost control of their car. Someone went flying
Oh my
over
God.
the border and blew up and stuff.
What?
Oh
Did
my
they die?
God.
No.
What? Yeah, it's all
That
over the
was
news.
die?
huge
It's all over the
news.
news. It's like people thought, oh, did someone
They,
bomb the border? No,
yeah,
it's just some guy
and
in
they
a Bentley or
canceled.
something.
They canceled
Did
the
they die?
Canadian concert
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was
that's
a
awful.
horrible accident.
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, people jumped to conclusions and immediately said it was a terrorist
Yeah.
attack, and it
He's
wasn't.
just a Kiss fan in a
Man.
Bentley.
And here's the real kick in the head. That concert was canceled, I believe.
Well, it was canceled for him.
Oh, there was a story I thought of you, Special K and Eric, because it was a cruise thing. This story came out years
Oh, the
ago.
3-year cruise?
Yeah, it was a 3-year cruise. This couple sold their house and all their
Yeah.
stuff, and they said, we're going to go take the 3-year cruise.
I've heard people do that.
And they got there to board this 3-year cruise, and the 3-year cruise canceled.
They canceled it.
The captain couldn't find the keys.
Yeah, where they go?
No, but think about it. I was reading the article.
serious?
I think we
Yeah,
hit the
it
same
canceled.
clickbait, and I was reading that
I
whole
didn't
story.
read the whole thing. I just read the headline.
A lot of people had leased out their homes because they're gone for 3 years. Like, holy crap, what do we do now? Like they had this
Sucks.
3-year plan. They were going to be on a ship for 3 years. So a lot of people, they're retirement age. They're going, oh, we'll just rent out our house for 3 years. We've got all this additional income. Now
That blows.
they're not going to be on the cruise ship.
But what was the reason?
And their house
Why
is
is it
rented out.
canceled?
It didn't
Does
say.
it have enough staff or something?
I don't know if it's
I mean,
canceled
3 years.
permanently.
Hey, I like vacation, but 3 years of vacation, you get bored of that same thing over and over. It's not
Would you?
special anymore.
But you're going to, like, they're probably stopping in little places
Yeah,
around
sure
in
they are.
Europe.
Yeah.
They go
You're
to,
I don't think
traveling
I
the
would get
world.
bored of that.
But the same little room.
I mean, did you get bored of your
Yeah, but
house?
you have the huge. Yeah.
But my
bored.
house
Same
is
living
bigger
room,
than,
same
a small room on a cruise ship.
It's
Tiny
even
house.
better. Your
How
view
big are
changes
those?
out the window.
Right.
Your house, you look at the same neighbors.
Yeah, but the space. I mean, I am claustrophobic of thinking about cruises. Aren't they very small rooms?
They can be small. Yes, I have lived at sea for a little while, and I don't know if I'd do that.
3 years.
3-year
Yeah,
cruise.
see, even the cruiser
It's like-
says,
Yeah, but I mean, you weren't on
3
one of
months.
these ocean of the whatever ships.
That's true. You
that
were
are
at
like,
I was on a naval ship.
yeah, these things, it's like the Galleria floating. I mean, they're
Yeah.
huge.
But we go on vacation for like 5 days. We're like, man, I can't wait to get back and get some Pablicitos.
But you
Can you
also-
imagine how much you'd be begging for your
You're
normalcy
eating food
after
from
3
around the
years?
world, Roula.
The ship was very small, and
It
so
was.
it would have been fairly confined.
Oh,
if you look at the
gosh.
size of it, it was
Already
one of those
can't breathe.
smaller ships.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Time for the Roula and Ryan Show on KRBE to tell you what's going down in H.
And by the way, at 9:30, we should play some of the
Audio of
clips
CM Punk.
of these people's reactions. You guys,
Oh, my God.
You'll pee yourself when you hear these people.
I thought this guy would be in costume or something. He's
yourself.
wearing a white T-shirt and jeans.
Hey,
It's like he just showed up from
Why
like
would he be in a
ballet
costume?
and said, "Hey, man, I just got here for the party. Where is
Yeah.
it?" I thought he could like wear some mask or a cape or something.
he's not a
Right.
luchador. or
Some
whatever.
boots.
It's tiny underwear.
He wasn't wrestling.
Where are his boots?
He wasn't wrestling.
Where's his cape? Come on, man.
Oh, he
You're
didn't
making
even wrestle. He just showed up.
That's what was cool about it, and it got 30 million views.
Oh,
What
the
the
guy didn't even do
heck?
anything in the ring.
And he didn't say one word.
What?
Tonight he will.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's
is
called a
weird.
teaser.
Yeah, tonight
It's
will
a
speak
teaser.
in Nashville.
It's like a teaser
Yeah.
trailer. Now we have trailers for trailers.
Yep. Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that
I'm in
crazy? The
edge of my
teaser
seat.
trailer.
Don't let me know how it works out.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay. Hey, I want to invite everybody to come out to Art Museum TX Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Actually, I'm going to be there till 8:30. I'm going to stay there even later. So come on out. Get yourself a painting. I painted all these paintings. People, if you follow me on Instagram, at Radio Ryan Chase, you can see everything that I'm donating. Every single painting that sells there, every penny will go to Texas Children's Hospital. So come on out. It's a great cause. It's at Art Museum TX in Sugar Land Town Square from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And all the money's going to go to Houston's Little Heroes, all the kids, at Texas Children's. By the way, I wanted to ask you guys, have you ever seen an 18-wheeler parked in your neighborhood?
An 18-wheeler parked in there, but
No,
not
he's
unless
on
somebody's
your
moving.
residential
Some Mercedes Sprinter for 4 years.
I
Yeah.
have definitely seen that in my neighborhood.
Well, I went to click2houston.com and they asked the question, is it illegal to park an 18-wheeler in a Harris County residential street?
Okay.
The answer is only if a sign is posted. If there's no sign posted, then you may park your 18-wheeler
Wait.
there.
So who posts this sign?
Is it the HOA or whoever is running the neighborhood?
Because it is an eyesore. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, when your neighbor has a dang 18-wheeler rig parked
That's
up in
really
there,
big.
it's like the only thing you see. Yeah.
Y'all, there was
Is
a
the whole
house-
trailer too, or just
No,
the rig?
no,
Just
no.
the
He
rig,
just
just
parks.
the rig.
Yeah, the
So yeah, I
cab.
guess I got to look in the bylaws. There was a house I used to pass a lot going to my child's school, And this driveway was a very, very short, round driveway. It wasn't like a big plot of land. It was a very short, round driveway, and they had an RV in it. Every day, and I couldn't see the front door of the house. And I was thinking, man, if I was the
Because an
neighbors,
A comes out.
that would drive me crazy every day. The RV is basically blocking the you know what I mean? Like, it's just taking up the whole front of this house is this giant RV. Every day it was just parked in the
Or what if it's just
round
any
drive.
car? If the car never moves, it's just sitting there.
Man,
And
what are
get
the
the
rules of
dust.
that?
There are some laws
you
behind
have to move it around,
that
right? You
one. I
can't
believe you do.
I don't know how they get around it, though.
You know
I
what?
mean,
Well, I used to help my neighbor move his cars. They didn't even have engines, I don't
Stop
think.
it.
And me,
had to
yeah,
push 'em?
me and Booster would go across the street. Hey, boys, can come help me
Pick up my car?
switch my cars around. And sure enough, we'd pull one out the driveway, switch them around, flip flop
But
them.
how there's no engines?
We rolled them. We pushed
Yeah,
them. They
push
were
that.
not very heavy. They're Chevy Chevelle. I think
Oh
is that a
my
Chevy
gosh.
Chevelle?
yeah, Chevelle.
yeah.
That's an old muscle car from like the early 1970s.
He had four of them.
70s.
And we had to jockey them all.
Did you ever ask him what he's going to do
You're
with them?
nice.
I call American Pickers on that guy.
Yeah, he's no longer with us, so I think the cars have also gone on.
Should
as
give you
well.
one for all that work.
I don't know.
You could have sold it, Kev.
Yeah.
That's true.
Make
I could
them
have flipped
car
it.
auctions.
Or to one of those places.
Yeah.
Really did commercials for.
Cars for kids.
Oh, yeah, you can donate that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then one time you
Little
said
tax break.
kids for cars. You mixed it up one time. I'm like, wow,
Kids
you
for
can trade in your
cars.
kid for a car.
Give us a child, we'll give you a car.
Every parent's felt that once in a
Not
while.
sure if it's going to run or not, but the child
And
will.
by the way, they never built that cruise ship, so that's why it didn't.
Yeah, people are texting us.
Oh.
The 3-year cruise never
That's like
managed
their
to
fault
because
that they
didn't get
should
the
know.
cruise ship.
Yeah, they
They
should
knew
have
that
known.
was
That's like the
coming.
guy that was baking or frying the turkeys in his garage.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, you got to have a cruise ship before you sell seats. Spaces on a cruise ship. Come on, people. All right, if you missed what happened on Roula and Ryan's Rose's update today, we did check back in with Thomas, who was worried that his father's new wife, Kira, was having an affair with a guy named Kyle. Kira is only a couple of years older than Thomas. He thought she was a gold digger. You'll hear how it all plays out next on the Roula and Ryan Show.